Did you know that in Brazil, more than 70% of people live paycheck to paycheck? And the most worrying, even when they increase their income, they continue to face financial difficulties. Maybe this is happening to you too. Today, we're going to talk about a problem that affects millions of people, and more importantly, we're going to figure out how to get out of this cycle of lack of money once and for all. Throughout this video, you'll understand the most common mistakes that are draining your money and learn the practical solutions that have helped thousands of people change their financial lives. I'm Letitia, and after years of studying about finance, I've discovered simple but powerful patterns that actually work. Get ready, because this could be the beginning of your financial transformation. Let's cut to the chase. Do you feel like you work hard, but money is never enough? Does it seem that no matter how much you earn, it disappears before the end of the month? This is the reality of many people. Let me tell you João's story. He earned a good salary, had a stable job, but was always in debt. The problem was not how much he earned, but how he managed what he had. João spent without a plan, got carried away by impulsive purchases, and never reserved anything for the future. Each time an unforeseen event arose, he resorted to his credit card and accumulated debts. And you know what's curious? This is because most of us have never been taught how to handle money. In school, we learn math, history, and science, but no one teaches us how to manage our personal finances. As a result, we fall into financial traps that drain our money and leave us stuck in this cycle. But the good news is that you don't have to keep it that way. Understanding what is happening is the first step to get out of this cycle. And in this video, we'll explore the 5 most common mistakes that keep people out of money, and practical solutions that can change that. Now that you understand the problem, let's get down to business, the solutions. The good news is that getting out of the cycle of always being broke is not as complicated as it seems. You just need to identify the mistakes that are sabotaging your finances and adopt some strategic changes. In this video, we're going to talk about 5 common mistakes that drain your money. Let's cover 1. A lack of basic financial planning. Without a plan, your money is adrift. 2. The habit of impulsive shopping. Small emotional decisions can be costly. 3. Not having an emergency reserve. Without it, any unforeseen event becomes a debt. 4. Living above your means, the impact of social networks and the ostentation effect. 5. High interest on debts, the invisible enemy that corrodes your finances. More than pointing out these mistakes, I'll show you practical and affordable solutions that you can apply today. By the end of this video, you'll be ready to start transforming your relationship with money. Without basic financial planning, your money is adrift. It doesn't matter if you earn a lot or a little. Without knowing where the money goes, it is impossible to get out of the cycle of always being out of money. Most people live on autopilot. They receive their salary, pay bills, spend on what comes up, and then hope that the money will last until the end of the month. But do you know what the problem is? Without a plan, you'll never have control over your finances. Think of financial planning as a map. When you have a destination in mind, whether it's getting out of debt, saving for a trip, or investing for the future, planning is the path that takes you there. How to get started? The first step is simple. Understand where your money is going. For 30 days, write down all your expenses without exception. Use an app, a spreadsheet, or even a notebook. The goal here is clarity. After that, organize your spending into categories, such as residence, transport, feeding, leisure, subscriptions, and services. Now that you know how you're spending, it's time to create a budget. A simple rule you can follow is the 50-30-20 rule. 50% of your money for essential expenses, rent, bills, food, 30% for desires and leisure, travel, restaurants, hobbies, 20% for savings or investments. If the numbers don't add up, cut superfluous expenses. Remember, the goal is to spend less than you earn and allocate a part of your money to build a better future. The impact of having a plan: when you have control over your finances, something amazing happens. Stress decreases, debts start to disappear, and you start to see your money grow. Financial planning is not about restriction, but about freedom. It's about making sure you're in control of your money, not the other way around. How many times have you bought something without thinking too much and then regretted it? Maybe you've seen an online ad for a must-have product, or taken advantage of that buy two, get three promotion. It sounds harmless, but impulsive purchases are one of the biggest enemies of your finances. Why does this happen? Companies spend millions of dollars to understand your behavior and create strategies for you to buy, even when you don't need to. Flash promotions, personalized ads, and emotional triggers, such as "you deserve this," are tools used to get you to act on impulse. In addition, there is the psychological factor. When we are stressed, sad, or even bored, we buy to feel an immediate reward. But this relief is temporary, and the result may be a larger bill than you expected at the end of the month. The impact of impulsive purchases, small expenses added together, can cause great damage. Imagine that you spend $50 every week on something unnecessary. That's more than $2,500 a year. Money that could be saved or invested. How to avoid impulsive purchases. 1. Wait 24 hours before buying. This break helps you avoid emotional decisions. After that time, you'll realize that you often don't even need that item. 2. Make a list before you go out or buy online. Write down only what you really need and stick to it. 3. Disable promotion notifications. Promotional apps and emails are designed to make you spend. Disabling them helps reduce temptations. 4. Use cash for small purchases. Studies show that using a credit or debit card makes it easier to spend without thinking. When you pay with physical cash, you feel the impact of the purchase more. How does it transform your finances? Controlling impulsive purchases means more money at the end of the month. This amount can be directed to pay off debts, build an emergency reserve, or start investing. It's a simple habit, but it makes a huge difference in the long run. Have you ever faced a financial unforeseen event that left you with no way out? Maybe it was a medical expense, a car problem, or even the loss of a source of income. These moments can be devastating if you don't have an emergency reserve. Why is the emergency reserve essential? Without a reservation, any unexpected situation can force you to resort to loans or credit cards. This creates a dangerous cycle of debt, as the accrued interest quickly turns a temporary problem into a lasting financial burden. An emergency reserve is like a life jacket. It's there to protect you when you need it most. How much to save? The standard recommendation is to have between 3 to 6 months of your essential expenses saved. For example, if your fixed expenses are $2,000 per month, your goal should be to have between $6,000 and $12,000 as a reserve. How to start, even with little money. 1. Set a small starting amount. Don't worry about reaching the full goal at once. Start with what you can, such as $50 or $100 per month. The important thing is to start. 2. Automate the process. Set up automatic transfers to a separate account once you receive your salary. This prevents you from spending the money before saving. 3. Choose where to store it. The emergency reserve should be in a safe and easily accessible place, such as a savings account or a daily liquidity investment, such as CDBs or Treasury Select. Benefits of having an emergency reserve. Having this reserve not only protects your finances but also brings mental peace of mind. Knowing that you are prepared for the unexpected reduces stress and gives you more confidence to deal with the day-to-day. Avoid common mistakes. One of the most frequent mistakes is to use the emergency reserve for non-essential expenses, such as travel or luxury purchases. Be disciplined and only use this money for really emergency situations. We live in a time when it's easy to fall into the trap of spending more than we can afford to appear successful. Social networks, such as Instagram and TikTok, show people traveling, buying expensive clothes, or driving luxury cars. This creates the illusion that we need to have these things in order to be happy or respected. But here's the truth. Many of these people who boast a luxurious life are in debt. And if you try to follow the same path, you may end up sacrificing your financial future for something superficial. Why do we live above our means? Often we want to please others or prove something to ourselves. There is also social pressure, fueled by social networks, to keep up with friends or acquaintances. However, this behavior is one of the biggest enemies of wealth building. How to identify if you are living above your means. 1. You spend more than you earn. If every month your account balance goes negative or you resort to your credit card to close the accounts, this is a clear sign. 2. You can't save. If you don't have money left over to create an emergency reserve or invest, it's because you're spending more than you should. 3. You finance unnecessary goods. Buying luxury items in installments just to impress is one of the most common signs that you're living above your budget. How to fix this? 1. Reevaluate your priorities. Ask yourself, which is more important, impressing others now or ensuring financial stability in the future? 2. Establish a sustainable lifestyle. Live within what your budget allows, even if it means lowering your standard of living temporarily. 3. Avoid consumer debt. Debts that do not generate financial returns, such as expensive clothing or high-end electronics, should be avoided at all costs. Practical example. Imagine that you are spending $500 a month on dinners, clothes, or other luxuries. Instead, if you invest this amount with an average return, in 10 years you could have more than $80,000. Living below your means now is what creates freedom in the future. The importance of changing your mindset. Real wealth is not about what you appear to have, but about what you build in the long run. Truly rich people are those who control their spending, save, and invest. Debts are one of the biggest obstacles for those who want to get out of the cycle of always being out of money. And the worst? Often we don't even realize the real impact they have on our finances, especially because of high interest rates. The danger of compound interest when you're in debt. Although compound interest is an excellent ally when you invest, it can become your own worst enemy when you're in debt. Debts such as credit cards, personal loans, and financing have very high interest rates, which make the debt grow much faster than you can pay. For example, a debt of $1,000 on the credit card, with a rate of 13% per month, can become more than $3,000 in just 1 year if it is not paid. Now imagine this accumulated with other debts. It's a never-ending cycle. Why do we fall into this cycle? 1. Lack of planning. Spending more than you earn leads to dependence on credit to close the accounts. 2. Ignoring the impact of interest. Many do not understand how interest works against them, which makes it difficult to prioritize debt repayment. 3. Improper use of credit. Using the credit card for non-essential purchases or making unnecessary installments are frequent mistakes. How to get out of this cycle? 1. List all your debts. Organize the information of all your debts, including the total amount, interest rate, and repayment term. This gives you clarity about the size of the problem. 2. Prioritize higher interest debts. Use the avalanche method, in which you focus on paying off the most expensive debts first, while paying the least on the others. 3. Renegotiate conditions. Contact financial institutions to try to reduce interest or increase the payment term. 4. Avoid new debts. While you are paying off current ones, avoid creating new financial obligations. The impact of getting out of debt. Imagine a scenario where, instead of paying $500 per month in interest, you can invest that amount. In 10 years, with a return of 10% per year, you would have more than $100,000 accumulated. Getting out of debt not only relieves stress, but paves the way for building wealth. Discipline is the key. Paying off debts requires sacrifice and discipline, but the reward is worth it. Every dollar you fail to pay in interest is a dollar that can be invested in your future. Now that you understand the top 5 mistakes that could be draining your finances, it's time to talk about the practical solutions that connect all of these dots. The idea here is to give you simple and effective tools so that you can start transforming your relationship with money today. 1. Start with an efficient budget. The basis of every financial solution is to have a clear budget. Here's how you can create one simply. Analyze your spending. As we discussed earlier, record everything you spend during a month. Categorize spending into essential, variable, and superfluous. Apply the 50-30-20 rule. Remember to allocate 50% to fixed expenses, 30% to leisure, and 20% to savings or debt settlement. Review monthly. Every month, review your budget to see where you can adjust. Small improvements accumulate big results. 2. Automate your finances. Automating is one of the most effective ways to maintain financial discipline. Set up automatic transfers for your emergency reserve or investments as soon as you receive your salary. Use apps that track your spending and send you alerts when you approach the limit. Also, automate bill payments to avoid unnecessary delays and interest. With automation, you eliminate the risk of forgetting to save or spending money on superfluous things. 3. Create clear and realistic financial goals. You need goals to stay motivated. Here's how to set financial goals. Short term. Example: pay off my debt over $5,000 in 6 months. Medium term. Example: save $20,000 for a down payment in 3 years. Long term. Example: accumulate $1 million for my retirement in 20 years. Make sure these goals are specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. SMART methodology. 4. Adopt healthy financial habits. Small changes can generate big results. Spend less than you earn. Always prioritize living within your means. Avoid unnecessary installments. Only pay an installment something that really fits the budget, and that is indispensable. Learn to differentiate need from desire. Before you buy, ask, do I really need this right now? 5. Invest in your future. With finances in order, it's time to make your money work for you. Start small. Even if you can only invest $50 per month, the important thing is to start. Choose simple products. Treasury Select, CDBs, and ETFs are good options for beginners. Take advantage of compound interest. The sooner you start, the greater the long-term impact. 6. Stay financially educated. Financial education is an ongoing journey. Take the time to learn more about investing, financial habits, and wealth-building strategies. Read books, watch videos like this one, and take courses on finance. Surround yourself with people who share your financial goals and can inspire you. The impact of applying these solutions, when you combine efficient planning with healthy habits, clear goals, and investments, something incredible happens. You stop being a hostage to money and start controlling it. Not only does this change your financial life, but it also reduces stress and gives you more freedom to achieve your dreams. Now that you know the mistakes that keep you penniless and the practical solutions to overcome them, it's time to think. What's stopping you from taking action? Often, the biggest obstacle is not a lack of knowledge, but procrastination. Why is acting so important? Every day you postpone these changes is a day when your debts can grow, your runaway spending can continue, and your financial future gets more distant. But the good news is that when you take the first step, you already start to get out of this cycle. Think about it. The future you want to build depends on the choices you make today. It's not about winning the lottery or expecting a pay raise. These are small daily actions that, over time, bring extraordinary results. Motivational reflection. It doesn't matter where you are right now. It doesn't matter if you're in debt or think it's too late to start. Financial freedom is not a destiny reserved for the few. It is built, one step at a time, with discipline, consistency, and learning. What would you do if you no longer had financial worries? Imagine that feeling and use it as your motivation. Today is the day to start building that future. If you've made it this far, congratulations. You've already taken the first step toward transforming your relationship with money. Now I want to invite you to be part of our community. Like this video, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell to receive weekly content about finances, investments, and habits that really work. In the comments, tell me, which of these solutions will you implement first? Your participation is very important to help others who are going through the same challenge. And remember, sharing this video can be the beginning of the financial transformation of someone you know. Let's go on this journey together.